Hi, this is Ambika, Assistant Professor, Department of AI/ML. Today we are going to discuss about computational intelligence in soft computing. So what do you mean by computational intelligence? It is nothing but an ability of the system to solve the problems by using learning, adaptation, and also the intelligent techniques which is inspired by the biological system. So unlike the traditional AI, the computational intelligence does not depend on the completely predefined rules. It learns from the data as well as the experience. So why computational intelligence is inspired by the human intelligence? Because human intelligence involves the abilities like learning from experience, handling the incomplete information, making the decisions from the incomplete information, and also adapting to the new situations. Example, if you consider the human driver, he can adjust the driving behavior based on the traffic, weather, as well as the roading conditions. So if you consider computational intelligence also, it can adapt automatically. Why do we need computational intelligence? If you consider the traditional AI, it works well in controlled environment. But if you consider the real world problems, they are very complex. So the real world data may contain incomplete information. Many problems they do not provide the complete data. Example, medical diagnosis. A patient may have only some symptoms, but the doctor still predicts the disease. If you consider the computational intelligence, it also works with the partial information. Handling uncertainty. Many situations cannot be represented as only true or false. Example, weather prediction. In traditional AI, it will give the output as either yes or no. But in case of computational intelligence, it gives a probability of rain will be like 80%. Next is complex patterns. Large problems contain the hidden patterns. Examples, face recognition, speech recognition, and fraud detection. So computational intelligence, it identifies the patterns from the large data. So AI and data science algorithms, they will analyze the massive data sets to discover the hidden patterns as well as the complex patterns. So this will help the machines to learn the human behaviors, identify the anomalies, as well as automate the daily tasks. Next is changing environment. So many systems they operate in changing conditions. Example, autonomous vehicles, smart robots. So computational intelligence allows this continuous adaptation. Limitations of traditional AI. So it is a rule-based approach. It follows the predefined instructions. For example, if temperature is greater than 40 degrees Celsius, then fever will be high. Next is it cannot learn automatically. Human needs to update the rules. So example, new fraud techniques, they require the new programming. Next, it cannot handle the uncertainty. Traditional systems, they require the exact information. Example, a medical system may fail if the symptoms are incomplete. Then problems with traditional AI also includes a limited adaptability. Traditional AI it cannot easily adapt to the new situations. Difficulty in solving the complex problems. Problems like image recognition and also language understanding, it requires a learning ability. Next is reasons for going for the computational intelligence. First one is handling uncertainty. So what do you mean by uncertainty? It occurs when the information is incomplete or unclear. Example, weather forecasting, medical diagnosis, and stock market prediction. If you consider traditional AI, it gives the fixed output, either yes or no. If you consider the computational intelligence, then based on the patient symptoms like fever, headache, and weakness, it calculates the disease probability like flu probability will be 75%. Learning from experience. Machine will learn from the previous examples. It also analyzes thousands of emails and learns from the patterns and improves automatically. Example, the email spam detection. So if you consider the old method, it contains the rules like if email contains offer, then spam. But the problem will be if new spam messages appear, then they cannot predict the output. Next is solving complex problems. Many real-world problems, they have large number of variables, multiple solutions, changing conditions. In case of traditional methods, it is difficult. So if you consider computational intelligence, it will give the solution for this problem by finding the best solution and also using pattern recognition. It is used for finding the hidden patterns like face recognition and voice identification. Next is adaptability. Adaptability means the ability to change according to the environment. So humans they adapt naturally, but if you consider traditional AI, it cannot adapt to the changes. So computational intelligence they also adapt. Example, autonomous vehicles. So even if the road condition it changes the decisions automatically. Next is handling imprecision. So imprecision means information is not exact. If you give the question like is the room is hot, the human will be answering like somewhat hot. But if you consider the traditional AI, the output will be either true or false. But these cases will be handled by Fussy logic. Example, applications like washing machines, air conditioners, and control systems. Then processing large data. So today's applications they require large amount of data like social media, sensor, online transactions. So these data will be it will be processed by the computational intelligence. Example recommendation systems. For example, online shopping app they suggest the products based on the user behavior. Next is characteristics of computational intelligence. Ability, adaptation, fault tolerance, approximate reasoning as well as the pattern recognition. Components. So the components used for the computational intelligence includes artificial neural network. It is inspired by the human brain. It consists of three layers, input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. So the applications of artificial neural networks includes image recognition, prediction, as well as the classification. Next is fuzzy logic. It is used for handling the uncertain informations and it gives the approximate reasoning. Applications include intelligent control systems and decision making. Next is evolutionary computation. It is inspired by the biological evolution, like based on selection, mutation, and survival of best solutions. Example, genetic algorithms supplied here. Applications will be optimization, engineering design. Next is comparison. So the traditional AI and computational intelligence will be compared like traditional AI is rule based and computational intelligence is learning based. So traditional AI requires the complete knowledge whereas the computational intelligence it works with the incomplete data. Next, traditional AI is it focuses on the exact reasoning, but in case of computational intelligence, the reasoning will be approximate. Traditional AI will be less adaptive. Computational intelligence will be highly adaptive, and then automatic learning is not happening in case of traditional AI, and computational intelligence it learns from the experience. So real-time applications will be healthcare, banking, transportation, and education. Thank you.